sky's the limit. Okay, so the first season that you have to know about, and hopefully you can hear this, but the first season is the season of spring. Now, the season of spring in your life and business, things are blooming, just like everything around me. The sun is shining. This is a time for you to plant seeds. You're planting seeds into the ground. Now, nothing has come to life yet, but this is the season of creation. Now in spring, there's a lot of new energy. There's a lot of new ideas. There's a lot of new initiatives, new projects. You're literally putting seeds in the ground of something that doesn't exist yet, but is coming. And this is where the creative process, faith, trust, and nourishing these seeds, right? Because a farmer, we plant seeds. You plant seeds as a creator in life and business. And the job is not done the day after. You got to nourish those seeds long before anything has come to life. So this requires patience and consistency, but it's also a very high energy time where you're deeply creative and you're nourishing seeds with water, with soil, with sunlight, with all of the things that it's going to need to really blossom and to really grow at the end of the spring going into the summer, which is a blossoming season. So I wanted to start here with the season of spring. And if you're in this season in life and business, it is time to create. This is not a time for fear. This is not a time for doubt. This is a time to embrace the creative process with everything you've got. Because this is the moment when you're gonna tap into your creative power. And the next idea, project, business, side hustle, idea for a vlog or a book or podcast or something that you're creating as an entrepreneur, side hustler, or thought leader, this is when it comes to life. So spring season, make sure that you are energetically in a powerful place. Make sure that you're working on your personal growth, but make sure that you're protecting your creative energy, right? And like Elizabeth Gilbert says in Big Magic, your creative energy is a daily process. And sometimes you're gonna feel like it, sometimes you're not gonna feel like it. It doesn't matter. The farmer still nourishes and plants seeds regardless of how they personally feel like it. So my question for you in spring season is, will you have the courage to honor the season with everything you've got? The next season is gonna be summer. Now, you're very familiar with summer because summer is the time where everything is blossoming. And in life and business, this means all of the hard work of spring has now blossomed and come to life. Now, I live in Arizona. We experience something kind of like an endless summer. But this is what I mean. Summer is the time where you've put in the work during the spring and now you're in blossom and enjoying the nectar of spring. So if you're in this season of life and business, this is the time where you're going full tilt. You're in full growth mode. You're not holding back. Summer obviously has the longest days of the entire year, which means that you're living it up. And like you're not just in pure celebration. You're in pure post-creation, post-launch, and really the pedal to the metal is still going full tilt. So you'll know you're in the season when you finish the things that you created in the spring and you're just pushing full tilt. You're driving 95 miles an hour down the highway. You get the windows rolled down. You're listening to Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run. You're having the time of your life. Okay, that might be my music preference. But I share this with you because summer is a glorious time to be in business and in life. It's so much fun, but there can be downsides. Summer can be exhausting. I know personally for me, I've been through cycles of spring, summer, creation, launch, and I didn't have the next two seasons, which we'll talk about in a moment here, which are fall and winter. But you're in summer, and when you're in summer, it is time to fucking go. It is time to put everything you can into it, because this is the season when the days are long, the sun is bright, and the nectar tastes so sweet. Okay, so there's the fall season. So the fall season is Thanksgiving. It's about gratitude. In the spring you were creating, in the summer you were flourishing. In the fall it's time to step back. Now the leaves change in the fall. In life and business, that means letting go of people, relationships, old ideas, old beliefs. But it's also a time for deep gratitude. It's a time to take a step back. The days get a little bit shorter. There's more downtime, and that downtime, the best way to use that downtime is gratitude. And it's also a harvest season, right? You did the work in the spring, you did the work in the summer. For the fall, for Thanksgiving, to have the big meal and to really enjoy the fruits of your labor. And so if you find yourself in this season, I'm encouraging you to slow down. I'm encouraging you to go inward just a little bit more. I'm encouraging you to spend a lot of time creating space, but also creating gratitude and enjoying the work that you've put in. Like, this is the time where you really get to enjoy and sit back. Does it mean that you stop? Hell no. It means that you take more breaks, that you restore yourself more consistently, and that you allow yourself the grace and the gratitude to just slow down a little bit. And, if you're operating at 100% all the time, you're gonna break down. Listen, I've literally learned that lesson myself. So that's what I wanna share with you in the fall season. It's about gratitude, it's about space, it's about enjoying the fruit of the work that you've put in. Really learn to honor that and watch what happens. So we've gone through the seasons, and the last one is the winter season. Now this is a place where you may be feeling unmotivated, uninspired. You're more exhausted physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And the winter season it's a hard time for creatives and entrepreneurs, especially the ambitious. People like me and you who place our identity around setting big goals, but the winter season is very restorative. And you can't skip it. You can't skip the winter season. And so in the winter season, the challenge for you is to go inward. The challenge for you is to take all of the lessons and the growth and the creativity, all of the things that you've done during the other seasons, and shut it down. And again, it doesn't mean you're not doing anything, but it means that you're doing a lot of that inner work that we can avoid. Because sometimes even healthy pursuits, even chasing our dreams, can be a distraction from that inner work. And so if you're in this place right now, or you've been kind of feeling like in between fall and winter and you're not as motivated as usual, and you're like, man, what is going on? Where's my fire? Where's my zest? Understand, this is part of the cycle of nature. There's nothing wrong with you. Now, there's a clear difference between being in a winter season and letting that become your identity and living there for months and months and months or years on end. There's a big difference between those two. So you have to know, you got to be understanding of deep down what's going on, but also the concept of the seasons. And so for me, I know recently I started to enter a winter season, and it had been so long since I've been there that my identity was like, I didn't like it. Like, I was like, something's wrong, something's missing. Maybe I have some adrenal issues that I need to work on. And sometimes that can be true. We've pushed really hard in the spring. We've pushed really hard in the summer. Now's the time to go inward. And the winter often has the best and most impactful gift. Now, it's the hardest to find because it's going to take going through some of the darkness. It's going to take through going some of the storms. And so you're going to have to be very patient with yourself. And this is when you practice like radical levels of self-care, taking extra time for yourself, being extra patient with yourself, treating yourself like you would treat somebody else. But if you endure long enough and you stay with it long enough, you're going to receive a gift during winter that's going to set you up for so much success. And, I was reading Bruce Springsteen's amazing biography called Born to Run. And even if you're not a Springsteen fan, and I'm not a huge fan, but his story is so incredible. I'll put it in the links, but he had several winters in his career, and a really debilitating one between, I think it was the ages either 60 to 62 or 62 to 64, where he was just like in some type of depression. Now, winter doesn't always have to be like that, but it can show up in that way. He wrote about it and how he had to come out on the other side and had to go through it and had to feel those feelings. And some days he didn't want to get out of bed. And guys, this is like Bruce Springsteen. This is like the epitome of American success or global success. And he doesn't escape that either. So it doesn't matter what you've created, what you've accomplished, what you've achieved. The winter season, it's not going to treat you differently. The winter season is going to ensure that you stay on the path and that you stick with it long enough to get the gift. So that's it. We have covered the seasons of life. Now you're maybe thinking like, Tommy, why does this matter to me? This sounds very concept, very theoretical. And here's why it matters. Because you and I are part of this ecosystem of nature. And what happens if you're in spring and summer all the time and you're listening to everybody that says you need to hustle, you need to do more, you need to go more intense, you need to 10x. Listen, I love that and I'm part of that. But if you operate in that place all the time, you will burn out and you will die. Now, you may not physically die, but your business will die, your relationships will die, your relationship with yourself, your ability to self-care, your health. Something will stop you and interrupt you and say, this is not the way that you're going to operate all the time. Now, my hustlers, those in the hustling community, they're going to say, Tommy, I need to be in spring and summer all the time. And that's simply not true. We have to create the space and the bandwidth for recovery, regeneration, replenishment, creativity, and coming back stronger so we can share our gifts with the world. And guess what? Your breakthroughs, for the hustlers, your breakthroughs, they're not going to happen when you're deep in the trenches. Your breakthroughs are going to come during the open space, during the creativity, during the times of fall and winter. That's when your big breakthroughs, like that 10x idea that's going to take your business from 100,000 a year to 5 million, or 500,000 a year to 10 million, or 50,000 a year to 120,000. That's when those ideas are going to come. So that's one side. That's for my hustlers. And then lastly, for my spiritual people, for my people who love the space, who love spending time in winter, watch out with getting caught in that trap. Because guess what? Sometimes, and I know my spiritual people, I love you, but you guys are so obsessed with the inner work, which is so great, that you're just always, you're aligning. You're aligning these guys right here, right? The chakras up and down, but you need to take action at some point. You got to get out of winter. You got to get out of fall. You got to get in the game. You got to go. This whole sitting by the couch and practicing or breathing and waiting for the law of attraction to work is not working. Part of the law of attraction, I'm gonna do a whole video on this, is yes, the energetics, yes, the mindset, yes, future pacing or reality, but then what? Then having the courage to step into the game. So comment in this video right now, what season of life do you find yourself in? So number one, identify what is the season that you're in right now. Number two, how can you honor that season? And number three, what is your commitment to ensure that you find the gift within the season? Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Would love to see here. Subscribe, post, comments below. I want to hear from you. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Please subscribe to the blog if this connected. If you're a dreamer, if you want something bigger, if you're a coach, consultant, thought leader, and you want to take your ambitions, not only to dream big, but to be big and act big and think big, subscribe below. We'll see you next time.